Hi everyone, Simon here. It's back on the love story, Broken, part 10. I'm sure it is part 10. It's part 10. Martin is in the village in Buriram with his daughter, Wa's mother, sister, and getting friendly with the Farang down the road. Wa's in jail. He's over for 6 weeks. She's still got 10 weeks in the monkey house. So what he decides to do, he stays in the village for 4 weeks, gives some more money to the mother and sister for the daughter, and he gets his way down to Pattaya by bus. He comes and sees me and tells me everything, and figures out, between us we figure out where she is, which monkey house, and he makes his way over there and manages to get in to see her. She's, when he sort of asked her what happened, she just like, wrong place, wrong time, usual story. Wasn't me, nothing to do with me, I don't do that stuff. Complete, yeah. Anyway, she was happy to see him, and the daughter's all fine, and he reports back to her, everything's good. She said when she comes out, she's leaving Pattaya and going home. Could he leave some money at the desk so she could get home? And that was quite comforting for him. See, halfway through the story, wife rings. Anyway, so Wa says, you know, give me some money, leave it at the house, gate house, whatever you do in a monkey house here in Thailand, so she could get back. And he was really happy about that. He says goodbyes, and she wanted 10,000 baht. He put 5,000 or 6,000 baht into her property with the prison for when she gets out. And he leaves, comes back to my bar. We talk about it for hours, in fact, probably the whole day. What was his choices? He couldn't afford to retire to Thailand. At this time he was 50 years old, I think. He was old enough for a, you know, visa retirement extensions, but didn't have the money. He still had his house with a mortgage, no personal pension, working hard, self-employed, so it makes it hard for some of the planning for the future. He wasn't in a position to move to Thailand. He looked at me working and said, is it possible for him to do the same? And I said that the money wouldn't be enough for him. There's no way it'd be enough for him to bring up a child in Thailand, even if he lived in the village. And he was pretty resigned to the fact he understood that that wasn't going to be an option. So all he could then do and think about was, what about taking his daughter back to the UK to live with him, and taking her back with him? Now, 15 years ago, it was a lot easier to take a Thai girlfriend back to the UK for a tourist, but no way a baby. I made some inquiries for him, and it didn't look too bad, but what he'd have to do would be to take Wa back first on a tourist visa, and then look at bringing the baby daughter over thereafter. And I told him he'd better go back and do research and start figuring it out. That was it. He spent a few days in Pattaya behaving himself, not drinking at all, wasn't into any Thai whiskey this time. And time came and he went back to the UK. A few weeks later, Wa was released, and after maybe a week in Pattaya still, before she did go home. But she did go home. Spoke to Martin a lot, and the idea of her moving to the UK for a holiday first and then maybe bringing the daughter over sounded wonderful. It could change her life and get her out of the habit she's in. So, all good. It was just a case then of Martin preparing all the right paperwork and getting that visa. He worked 3 or 4 months really hard again. He got all his paperwork together. At that time, the UK visa, you had to queue up at the British Embassy, put your paperwork in there and then, and apply. And then a few days later, you probably get interviews. So he came back to Thailand. He got Wah to come to Bangkok with the daughter and her sister, and they all stayed in one hotel room. He saw his daughter, the sister, I think the sister's boyfriend might have been driving them down. A few days with his daughter, and they went to the UK embassy, just him and Wah, put all the paperwork in, got all of her paperwork, and quite miraculously, which was very surprising to me, they did an interview, rang 2 days later, did an interview, and under the circumstances that she'd got a daughter to come back to, that she wouldn't go and stay in the UK and not come back, they actually said, we'll give you a visa of tourist, and it was a 6-month tourist visa. Well, this was wonderful news. They stamped her passport, he went back and collected her, and there it was. She could go to the UK. He decided to cut the holiday short to save the money. They went back up to the village, saw the family. He then gave a bit of a lump sum to the mother and sister for the daughter, and booked a plane ticket, changed his ticket, return ticket, booked Wah a ticket to the UK. Went back to Bangkok, and amazingly got on a plane together and went back to the UK. It was easier back then, but I think because she just had a baby, and they said the reason that they wanted to go to the UK was she wanted to see if it was feasible for her to live in the UK with the baby rather than Thailand. And that was great. Amazing, really. And they got back to the UK. Wonderful. Can't remember the time of year, but I know within 2 days of them getting there, they were having huge bust-ups and arguments. And I think it was miscommunication and not understanding the language and just total, you know. Then it calmed down a bit. Martin was working again, leaving Wah at home all day and all night. Got her Thai food and, yeah, pretty much on her own. Then 3 days later, all hell broke loose in the house. So huge arguments. I'm actually going to leave it there, guys, because the next episode will explain a lot more. It's just going to have to leave it there. I'm sorry. Yeah, she's in England and he's in England. Daughter's in Thailand. He's working, leaving her home. It's not surprising there's going to be arguments, isn't it? Can't really just leave her at home in a foreign country and not take her out and about much. But he had to work to be able to get the money to still have money for a trip back. Oh, hard times. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.